I'm the sun stealer. I'm going to steal the sun away.
Stop stealing my son, you bastard.
Never.
I want my son back. That's
My
not
son
my son,
now.
that's a different son. Why have you given me a different son?
I've been Sam.
I've been Benson.
And I've been Adam.
Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next week. Bye, 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 bye.
Well, I have to make my tea.
I don't think the outro at the start works, guys. I think we need
We've
to.
got to go
work
now.
on that.
That's it. We're finished.
We have to go now.
That's
There's
part
like a
of the
legal
outro.
binding.
We leave.
Yeah. We're going to make our teas and etc.
Yeah.
Well, we were just brainstorming how to start the podcast and what structure we should be aiming for today. And it turns out that the outro at the start doesn't work. So if you've got any other suggestions, please let us know. This is Killer Rabbit Podcast. It's Yorkshire's #1 alternative news podcast. I'm Sam. I'm joined by Mr. Adam Chase, everybody. He's there.
Hello.
Woo.
I'm here.
He's there. And Benson as well.
Hello.
Benson's joining us. Hello.
You say we're the alternative news podcast #1, but we might not be currently. We might be the alternative fake news podcast.
We might be fully fake news.
And we don't
Very
know.
true.
We're sat in anticipation. I've contacted his legal team.
Tomorrow. For the first. Is he going to reveal all of them tomorrow? Or is this like going to be one a week for the series?
I think it's everything.
Yeah. So we recently found out that UK comedian Joe Lycett has been leaking fake news stories to the press,
I'm so
unbeknownst
happy
to us. So our usual news sources, verifiable,
meant to be verifiable, top dog.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Joe may be showing us something here.
Yeah, we may have found out, well, we may be soon to find out. By the time this goes out, we will have definitely found out whether some of the news that we've covered over the last few weeks has indeed been fake. So
It's been Joe Lycett news.
Yeah, we're assuming at this point that maybe the Titchmarsh trousers stuff was
Fake news.
Well, it's interesting because on the BBC One show last night, I don't watch that show, but it came up on his Instagram. On Joe's Instagram? And they went, "What about the hedgehog pom-pom thing?" And he replied with, "I possibly couldn't say," but had a small smirk.
He possibly couldn't say, or he couldn't possibly say.
He always has a small smirk. Everything he does, whenever he looks at the camera, he's a small smirk going off.
That's
He
true.
is a bit of a small
That's
smirk.
true. But then he also put on
person.
a video of him, and in the background a list of very likely, kind of likely, very unlikely of all the big stories, and like the Willy Wonka thing was on there as very unlikely. But I think he could pull that off. I genuinely think he could have, with everything else he did with like King's Lynn the last few years. I think, yeah, definitely that. The hedgehog one. Titmarsh. I can't say his name. Titmarsh's trousers. But those other ones,
we did talk about that.
No, sorry. Go on, Sam. You carry on. Fucking rude bastard. You talk over me. No, I'm not talking anymore. Fuck you.
You stopped.
Well, I thought there was a gap, but this is the issue with recording over the internet, isn't it?
We're not using the internet. We do not give away the trade secrets.
Well, we didn't used to, but we do now. We've gone with the times.
That's correct. We've had to upgrade from our old dial-in system.
We used to fax each other what we were saying.
Live faxing the entire time.
That was the upgrade from when we used to just carve words into a tree in the middle of a forest, and we all had to visit the tree separately to find out what was happening.
Of course, we couldn't visit the tree at the same time. That was forbidden.
Yeah, that was just silly.
Yeah, that would be silly. The tree of rife.
That would have been ridiculous.
But yeah, we did cover the hedgehog pom-pom story, but I decided to cut the whole thing out of the episode, so Our listeners will not have heard that because.
Oh, did you cut all of it out?
All of it, yeah. I thought I'm not getting double Joed. I'm not being double Joed.
No double Joe.
I'm sure he's double Joed many a person. But I mean that just proves that we didn't listen to the episode. I did listen to the first half of the episode on my way to work this week, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. But not the second half, which is probably where that story got cut.
Have you seen with the Willy Wonka thing that they're taking it to America?
Was that Galifianakis?
With Zach Galifianakis?
Yeah. So
I don't understand what's happening.
So the Oompa Loompa, the meth head Oompa Loompa, who isn't a meth head actually and isn't 40-year-old, is like 18 or 20 or
I know,
something.
I don't understand why she looks like that in that photo. It's like it's doctored.
Yeah, exactly, which would be something that somebody spreading fake news would do. But yeah, they're going to they're recreating it with Zach Galifianakis in America in a warehouse. And they specify that it's going to be an
Disclosed.
No, not undisclosed, like nondescript warehouse. Nondescript warehouse. That's what they said in the wording. But yeah, this bird's just like, can you all stop messaging me about it? Because when people found her, and then the day after was like, right, I'll do cameos, I'll do appearances, I'll do nightclubs.
And now
to be
you've
fair,
got this...
I'll do the same. If we got famous from this, I wouldn't go through a day of, can you stop messaging me? I'd be like, right, get your tits out. Let's go. Saying that to myself in the morning in the mirror, by the way.
Of
I'm
course.
not a misogynist.
Of course. A misogynist.
I'm not a misogynist.
We made it sound so odd. Misogynist.
Misogynist?
It's just how you said it first time.
You're just surprised that I said
right now.
You're surprised that I said a word right.
That's
You're now
true.
subconsciously
That is
just
true.
expecting me to.
I just have to stop the
fuck it up.
conversation so we can discuss Benson getting it right.
It is a world first, and that's what this podcast is all about. I'm just carrying on talking to make sure Sam can't get a word in because he actually really annoyed me when he interrupted me.
So quiet. So quiet.
So the other day, there's a cloud outside my window. I thought that's weird. That's weird. There's a cloud right outside my window, but it's further away. It's in the sky, and it looks like
it's in the sky. Good. That's good. It's a good place for clouds.
Preferably
So
its
the
usual spot.
optimum place, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like a Death Star Destroyer.
A Star Destroyer.
Like it proper looks like one. In fact, it might be one. So there you go. I've got terrible acid reflux going on today as well.
He's just going to keep going. I just show up for the last 5 minutes just to see what would pour out of your fucking mouth.
What the fuck's going on?
He's looking round. He's talking about clouds in the sky. He's starting to talk about his acid reflux. This is why you need cutting off every now and again, you fucking moron. Anyway.
I thought you were going to go a bit harder there, but that's what she said.
I like moron. We've got a bit of a warning this week anyway. You couldn't be much closer. So, one of our loyal and lovely listeners has got in touch and said they're having a bit of a bad time of it at the moment. They're going to go into hospital and they're having an operation, so they want us to do a special episode to get them through that and help them through their recovery. However, they've also stated that because of the nature of the operation, they can't laugh too much.
Oh, no,
so
we have to be boring.
So the episode can't be...
It's funny that you should mention that because my acid reflux. So we have to be boring.
Those
have to be
clouds
serious.
outside are looking serious.
Yeah, let's go back to the clouds.
It's raining. Well, I wasn't expecting that today. It's just started. The Star Destroyer's leaking water. It's emptying its toilets above my house.
Fluid.
Are we not disclosing who it is? Because I don't know who it is. But tell
this
me
is
after
it.
the episode.
I was going to say the name, and then I thought, I've just kind of revealed that they're in hospital having an operation. Maybe they didn't want that, so I haven't revealed the name. But yeah, we absolutely hope they're okay and wish them well in the recovery. But they can only deal with a slight mirth, only small chuckles. So anything above that, and I will have to raise the mirth alarm. So if there you go. Yeah, if at any point you hear this sound,
Mirth, too much mirth.
No way. That is so close to what I was doing.
Yeah, then you know you've been too funny. And you need to
Smurf
stop
alarm.
being funny. Yeah, it was very, very close to the noise that you were doing. It's almost like you preempted the mirth alarm. I'm very.
This has
impressed
happened
with you
before,
there,
where
Benson.
one of us have preempted what the other person's going to talk about. How did they get in touch? I know we said like send anthrax to us and stuff via email, but how does one get in touch with Killer Rabbit to discuss the fact that they're going into hospital?
We carved it in a tree.
Fair enough. I'd have stopped the ambulance, 999. They get you into the ambulance. Wait a minute. I need to message Killer Rabbit, and then we can go.
It was via the Twitter at killerrabbitpod if you want to get in touch. But yeah, they got in touch. and said
You
that
picked up on my little hook there, didn't you? I was, I was
I see what
making
you're
sure you
doing
could
there.
naturally bring it in without us making it sound obvious and pointing
So
it out
natural.
after.
Definitely so natural.
So natural, and the
We did-
pointing out of it afterwards as well.
I know,
really.
exactly.
yeah, makes it
Puts the
makes it
cherry on that
super
particular
natural.
icing.
that.
It's natural.
Supernatural.
Whoa,
We did
careful,
also get
careful.
anthrax in. We did also get anthrax in the email this week, didn't we?
We
Yeah,
did.
we did.
We asked you not to send anthrax via email, and Alex, another loyal listener, did exactly that. The bastard. So we've got maybe hours to live.
Alex
Yeah, too
really
much anthrax.
kindly reviewed us the other day by sending me a compliment of the podcast, and he said
That's
we
not a
bri-
review. That's not a
It
review,
is.
Alex.
We
Get on the
brightened-
official platforms and
we-
do it.
we brightened up his terrible journey that could not have been brightened up.
But
what?
we managed to do.
We
the
achieved the impossible.
He hates public transport, and he was heading
I
in
do.
on public transport to
So
work,
did we all.
and he listened to us, and it made it all worth it.
Well, maybe he should tell other people rather than the
He
people
did,
that
he
are
did
on the
tell other
podcast.
people. He told
Oh,
me.
he did.
He told me.
Right.
And then I'm telling you.
All
That's,
right,
how,
okay,
that's how
so-
rumors start. You tell
Ah,
other people.
okay, so now we
Oh, the-
tell other people that this podcast our mate listens.
If you both tell one person that, and then don't say you're part of it, eventually everybody in the world will have heard of
I'm
it.
glad that you called it a
Homework for
rumor
all the
as well.
listeners. Yeah, it's a rumor.
So it's not even true fact.
It's just
There's a rumor that this podcast will
myth.
brighten your day.
Pure myth.
If you make something sound like a rumor, people look for it.
It's a conspiracy, man.
If you
How-
if you go on down any of that, that's how the news do it with a click. I have actually got a complaint to make. Do you mind if I complain on the podcast? Seeing as though we're on Mirth level 1, MirthCon 1, we'll call it
Mirth, come on.
MirthCon 1. The BBC, man, the BBC have really started to irritate me. Specifically, BBC Yorkshire.
Just now.
Specifically, no, they've always annoyed me, but this week they've really annoyed me. BBC Yorkshire social media account post storylines that are all clickbait. Now, the
That's
BBC
what
have no
BBC
advertising.
does.
Yeah, but they have no advertising rights. They have no benefit from click rates at all. Yet they are posting. So BBC Yorkshire is posting train station in Yorkshire set to close, affecting thousands of people heading into city centres. Now, if it's BBC Yorkshire, it's pretty obvious that it's going to be a train station in Yorkshire anyway, so that
That's
part of
what
the
you
title's
think,
wasted.
Yeah.
And then you have to click into it and read like 5 paragraphs down to find which station. I got so annoyed that I refused to find out which
You
station
never
it was.
find out which station it was.
Well, you've just clickbaited everyone else, you
no,
bastard.
we now need to go and click on the article
Oh, yeah,
now.
I didn't think about that. Okay, nobody go and find out. We don't need to know.
No, I need
We'll
to
just
know.
all collectively agree not to ever know this.
It
No,
really-
I need to
If
know
we
which
don't
train
know
station.
it won't close.
Exactly.
Which
If nobody
train
knows,
station?
if nobody knows it's closed
Sam,
and the
you
stuff
know,
show
stop
up.
looking, Sam. Stop it. Just let it go. Just let
Oh,
it
I
flow
swear,
away.
if it's East Grinstead, I'm going to be so unhappy. I
It's
don't
not
know if
East
that's a train
Grinstead.
station.
That's not in
I
Yorkshire.
don't even know what that is.
So
Is it a thing? Is it a
It's
place?
West
I don't
no
know.
idea.
Bington.
I really don't know. But it really annoyed me because clickbait is annoying anyway. But it is designed to attract people in so that you look at adverts accidentally while scrolling through a news story.
Oh, I
And then they
accidentally
get
got
money.
advertised to. Oh, damn.
Yeah, but then they get revenue from it. The BBC aren't allowed to do that. Plus, we all mandatorily have to pay
Mandatorily.
a fee
No, we don't
to
have-
them to, well, they make out that it's mandatorily.
Only if
And
you
then-
watch their or their TV shows. Watch the BBC.
Or streaming. Yeah, that's what I mean. So they make it out like it's mandatory, as I say. Or it used to be,
You can
definitely.
get to
If you had a TV.
fuck.
I like the really robust safety measures they have in place for that on the BBC iPlayer. When you
Are
go
you
in,
over 16?
do you have a TV license? And you click yes, and it goes, oh, all right then. There you go.
Oh, look at this then.
How about you?
Go in.
Go for
It
it.
always
Knock
reminds me
yourself
of
out.
the video of that
like a
security guard doing the pat down at that football
Yeah,
stadium,
yeah.
and he's just
He's not even
brushing
touching
past
them.
them. Yeah.
But it's like somebody IDing someone at a club. Go, are you 18? Yes. Okay.
In you go.
In you go.
In you come, you cheeky scab. Come watch all of our wonderful programming. I'm sure you do have a TV license, because you wouldn't lie on the internet, would you?
It's like the are you over
Nobody on
16?
the internet lies. Nobody lies online, Sam.
Anyway,
That's
I've
such an
looked at the
outdated
death rate.
stuff.
I've looked up the death rate of anthrax. I know you were wondering when we were talking about
Oh,
that.
we're going back
I'm-
to that.
We are at Smurf level
There's a
1.
lot of subjects we spoke about, but we've decided to go back to the anthrax. That's an
Yeah,
interesting
yeah.
choice. Yeah.
Is this
Bring-
anthrax?
well-
Is this people who died in mosh pits at an anthrax concert, or is it death
I
by
ain't got the
anthrax?
figures for that. Death by anthrax. So there's a 55% chance of survival. Never knew that. I thought it was much worse.
Oh,
than that.
That's a
well,
terrible
good,
poison.
that.
You need something more
You need
hardcore,
something
like
better, a bit of
cyanide.
cyanide or something. Yeah.
Cyanide is easy to make, and I shouldn't really say that. Should
Much
I?
higher success rate.
Yeah, it's like 98% easily.
Bit of ricin. Get some ricin in the email.
Ooh,
inbox.
Ricin's
bringing out the
undetectable.
breaking blood.
Nobody would have known about
Oh.
ricin.
I thought you were going to say underrated then.
It's underrated as
Ricin's
well.
underrated, you know.
Nobody would have known about it if it weren't for Heisenberg blowing the
That's
whistle on the
true.
whole thing.
Oh, I
Fucking
knew about it
ruined
before that
people.
because the guy with the
Oh, of course
umbrella
you
had
did,
it.
yeah.
in
Of
his-
course
The guy with the
yeah.
umbrella had it in his
The
tip,
Russian
didn't he?
assassin.
Of course he
Yeah.
did, with the little
Yeah.
ball bearing and that.
That's where I first heard of ricin. Then on
On
Breaking
London
Bad, I was
Bridge.
like, oh, I know ricin. Good
Sorry,
stuff,
Sam,
good
we
stuff.
weren't all there for the Russian assassin incident.
Oh,
were
because
the
I was.
assassin.
I was there.
Yeah, probably. You were the brilliant.
assassin.
I was the brother.
He
I was the
he
administrator
was the ball
of the
bearing.
ricin.
He was the ball bearing.
But,
Hang on. That's too much, guys. Come on.
okay.
Calm it down. Jesus.
Can we put the
Benson,
laughter shield up?
what are the clouds like at yours, Benson?
The cloud. So right now, you know, I said it was raining. So it's. I'm gonna have to move my microphone slightly so the listeners can hear this as well, because I'm editing this episode, so they'll hear all of this. The clouds have actually parted slightly, and there's a beam of light coming down onto the fields just over the way there.
Cloud Watch
Jesus
with
is
Benson.
back then.
This is the second coming of Jesus Christ Superstar.
Come on, it's beyond the Easter episode now.
Oh, there's a bird. There's a bird.
That's Jesus.
Cloud Watch with Benson. How do you like the new feature anyway? Cloud Watch
Cloud
with
Watch.
Benson. You
Cloud Watch
feeling
with
it?
Benson's
The
a
thing
good
is,
feature.
we're
I
trying
like
to be
it.
serious, and by you mocking it, it's making me laugh, which might make other people laugh. So we need to be careful.
Stop
We are treading.
laughing.
We're
This
treading
is
a
a
fine
very-
line.
It's a very
Well,
serious
The
talking
beam of
point,
light's
this Cloud
gone.
Watch.
Heaven's closed for the day. Sorry.
Ah, see,
There's no
you've
room at the
upset
inn.
them now. You've upset the divine spirits as So it's time for a new feature. A new feature. Guys.
Does it remain in the SmurfCon 1?
SmurfCon one.
Yeah.
Did everything change? Are you Papa?
No.
Why are we all
It's-
Smurfs now?
Because he said small Murph or something, and I just made it into Smurf.
Oh, small mirth is now Smurf. SmurfCon.
And we're at SmurfCon 1. Like DEFCON 1.
1.
But for Smurf level. Murph. I didn't even know Murph was a word. But apparently it is a word. And I'm assuming it means merriment.
It pretty
Humour.
much does, yeah.
Well, I put it into the context of the sentence, so.
It's good that. He's like a one-man band, isn't he?
Yeah.
The quieter we get, the more he
That's not how a one-man band works. Oh, someone's turned the volume down over there on that song.
You start being the band. Anyway, back to the new feature. So, I mentioned a bit ago that I like to peruse the old conspiracy theory.
Are you moving your microphone as well now? The customers are the listeners are going to get a real in the room experience this time.
I love
Sam, you
making
move
loads of sound for when someone's mixing and really causing
Well, if you're
problems
talking
with
and making the
microphone.
sound, it stays in.
I know, I'm really bad at it. I have to fiddle with things and the
I
microphone.
know, but I call it out when I'm moving
It's
it,
really
so
bad.
then everybody knows, and it stays in the episode, and then Sam cries.
I've got a wire like this now. So
Oh wow, he's got a wire like this.
What does that do?
coiled wire for the listeners. I've got a coiled wire. Which
What does the
means
coiled wire provide you?
It provides me with ear noise. It's attached to my headphones, but it means that I can fiddle with things that don't make a noise.
That don't make a noise. That's
Yeah.
good. I just need something that's silent, a fidget spinner that's silent, and then I don't touch the microphone.
I just touch my
we're
penis.
diverging massive. I know you do. We see. We're on camera. You don't hide it well. So I mentioned a while ago on the podcast, a few episodes ago, I don't even know, that I like to peruse the odd conspiracy theory. So every now and again, I'm going to dive into the hole of fun that is conspiracy theories online.
The whole of fun.
It's so much fun, and bring them and share with you guys so we can discuss them. It's it's fun.
Are they real? Is it a real one?
Well,
A
that's
real
what
conspiracy.
you've got to
Well,
decide.
yeah, is it real
Are you-
conspiracy?
did you just
That's
ask
what
him, is
you
it
have to decide.
you know what I mean, though? You haven't just like made it up now.
Well, someone else
That's
might.
still-
It is an actual conspiracy. So,
okay.
yeah. It's what some people believe, but just as like a disclaimer, obviously, there is weird stuff that happens, and there is conspiracy in the world, but not all of them are true, and some of them are hilarious. So that's what we're bringing here.
Have an open mind, but don't open your mind too much, or your brain will fall out.
Yeah,
So that's a decent stance. I
Open
think.
your mind, but don't be dumb. But this week and the past couple of weeks have been rife for some wonderful conspiracy videos knocking
Rife.
about and being created. Rife, because what's happened this week?
The eclipse.
The eclipse.
Ooh. Did you have a good eclipse?
The
Did you
eclipse
enjoy it?
I got the wrong fucking day, didn't I?
Yeah, he
Stared
saw
at
it
the
day
stared
before,
at the
didn't he?
sun on Sunday night, burnt my retinas. Then the actual night when it was, I forgot and missed it and stared at the sun after it had already
We
happened.
didn't even get we got like
Well,
a
I was gonna
partial
say, we-
eclipse
we- yeah,
anyway.
we
wouldn't
didn't
know.
really get it
We wouldn't
either,
even
did we?
see out. No.
But he said,
no,
well, the
it was across in
newspapers were
America.
saying, the papers were saying, Manchester and Leeds, Glasgow, all that, you will get to see it. And then on the day, they were like, nah, you're probably not going to get to see it at all.
No,
I
you
definitely
definitely
didn't see
won't.
it because I was 24 hours early. So I had no chance, really.
I saw a picture of a guy showing the eclipse to a fish. He was out on a fishing
that's
boat,
good.
and he was holding the fish up so it could see the eclipse.
That's nice. That's nice.
He
of
was
him.
showing the-
I wonder if the fish liked it.
Did you say he was showing the
Wait.
picture to a fish or he was showing the fish to the eclipse?
He was showing the fish the actual eclipse as it was happening.
And then
Yeah,
you
yeah,
saw a
look,
picture
fish
of
up.
that.
And the fish is just being held there, going, "Please, just let me breathe, mate.
Let me
Please, I
breathe.
just want to breathe."
But he did put the little glasses on. He put the glasses on the
On the
fish.
fish.
No, he
Fish.
didn't.
to
No, he
protect us.
didn't.
He did.
No, he didn't.
Genuinely did.
On the front
did.
though, because fish's eyes are on the side of its head. If he put them on front, it's a bit useless, isn't it?
It might have just been for the camera. It might have actually been a case of blinding Nemo. Hey.
Oh, you've been writing that all day, haven't you?
He has. He fully has.
Careful,
then-
don't laugh. This is a serious podcast.
Oh, hang on.
he's got
Sorry,
too far,
sorry. I apologise. Sorry to our loyal listener who's probably in pain now. Oh, and an extra one.
Just an extra one for them to keep the change.
Change, you filthy animal.
It's gonna be really confusing when that sound effects isn't played on the episode. So we all are reacting to this sound.
Just delete the sound effects.
You'll have to make it yourself, Benson. You already did it. But yeah, that poor fish. That'll be. I don't know if it was thrown back, but if it was, it's gonna. go
They
tell
just took it
all
out
its
of the
fish
water.
friends.
Well, look at this eclipse and just threw
Yeah,
it on the
threw it
land.
back. All its fish friends will never believe what happened, will they? They'll just think, the fish that cried.
It's probably forgot though by the time it gets back in the water. Something happened. I can't remember. Anyway, what happened?
Anyway.
Conspiracy.
So I've dived into a few sort of theories around the eclipse because this is, it's it's a conspiracy theorist dream, isn't it? This kind of stuff. So there's a lot of conspiracy theories and a lot of different sort of angles that people take. A lot of biblical ones, you know, the eclipse, end times, something called the Great Awakening's apparently happening.
Q were all over it, weren't they? Good old our
Q
friends
love it.
Q.
Do they still exist?
Love it.
Of course they do. They're still going. Something big's going to happen, and then it
Well,
doesn't
it was
happen. They
just
go, no,
another
it
date
didn't
now.
happen. Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
going to be next week. It'll be
It's
next
definitely
week.
gonna
You
happen,
haven't
but it's
spoke
not
about.
yet.
You just haven't mentioned them for a long, long time. So I imagine I
They're
just
not
thought
very
they'd
relevant
dissolved.
anymore. They just stood there going, no,
Yeah.
it's not happening yet. It's going to happen next time.
Yeah, it
Q's
became
way
a
more
little
important
bit. It became a little bit less relevant when Trump didn't get back in, and then they
And,
tried to spin that Biden was actually Trump in a Biden
in
mask.
disguise, yeah.
And that's when quite a few of them were like, "Nah, that's too much for me now."
Yeah, but they,
The-
but they were
the
down
old-
for JFK returning.
They were
all
down for
that.
They were down for drinking children's blood to
Yeah.
live longer, but then when they were like, I don't think it is Trump in a Biden mask. Quite a lot of their numbers diminished
Dwindled
significantly.
Can't think why.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were all over it, I think.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, the Great Awakening, that's something that's apparently happening now because of the eclipse.
What's the Great Awakening?
Where the realms between the spiritual world and our world all break down and we start being able to see the truth, apparently.
I
know
don't
what the
think
truth
that's
is,
the accurate.
but
I don't think that's a very.
coming.
I don't think it's a very descriptive name for that.
Yeah, I know.
The Great
it's more like
Awakening
the
should
great
be the
eye-opening.
merging. Yeah, the merging of
merging.
worlds.
So that's apparently that's one way. Someone was saying that it's actually not our sun as well. That's one.
I did hear that we borrowed
up
one
there.
temporarily
Yeah.
whilst the other one got fixed.
Apparently, it's not our sun. It's the wrong color and it's the wrong shape now. Apparently,
Doesn't have a
That's
hat
what-
on.
But that's
Doesn't
exactly
know
what
our
the
sun
government-
does.
That's what the
Doesn't go
government
hip,
would do.
hip,
They would put
hooray.
the moon in the way whilst they swap the sun out with a different
Maybe
one. It's a classic government trick.
Classic.
Oh, is it like one
classic
of those-
misdirection
one of those-
situation?
TikTok
mistake.
videos. One of those TikTok videos where they put the hand to the screen and then they're in a different dress.
Yeah.
It's
Ooh,
just
did
like,
you
ta-da,
see-
I'm a
did
new
you see
son.
our
Yeah.
Prime Minister? He nailed that. Really
I
nailed
saw
it.
that. Yes,
Yeah.
that was so bad, so bad,
Oh,
Just absolutely irrelevant.
And then tanked Adidas's share price. By
Oh, he
wearing
really
some
did, didn't he?
Sambas.
He wore some Sambas, and now everyone's like, "Oh, it's over. Sambas
Yeah.
are done."
I've had to burn all my trainers.
Adidas surely should have been like, "We're not fucking sponsoring you. You can't wear those on TV."
Yeah. Full suit with his
With his
Sambas on.
Sambas. Fucking
Oh, he's a
what
man of the
clown.
people. He definitely knows how
Yeah.
people live, don't he? Let's not get
Anyway.
too political.
No, let's go back. No, let's go back to our wonderful theories. So, oh yeah, it's not our son. That was
not our
that was the
son.
one. Then
Tell you what, I know our son. I could
that's
pick
not
it out in a
bloody
lineup.
it. That's not
It's
bloody
big,
it.
They
it's
don't even
yellow,
got an hat
and
on
it's
it, this
warm.
one. There's no
Yeah,
hat.
no hat.
Bloody no hat. Another one. So
There's
this
a baby's
guy's
face
video.
in it. There's a baby's bloody face in the middle of it.
Is that how we know it's our son, or how we know it's not our son?
How we know
Is
it's
that
not?
because
That's
it's
the
been
Teletubbies
stolen
son.
from the Teletubby world? Yeah,
Yeah.
and they've swapped it out.
Yeah, I
with the
don't know if they-
Teletubby son.
I didn't know.
Why
if
has
that
our
was
son
our as
started
well.
being animated and talking to us? So another one, this other guy's video. Now this one was compelling. This one, I have to say,
Compelling.
This was compelling. What he said was, he said, "Think about it. The government
about it.
wants you all to go outside and look at this thing with these glasses. Think about it."
Right. I'm thinking about
That
it.
was his video.
All right. He was
That
saying
was it.
that,
That was
thinking
the-
about it.
Just think
Okay,
about
so I'm
it.
thinking about
Just
it.
think about it, mate. Just think
So
about it.
he's giving people license to come up with their own conspiracy.
Maybe.
It's a good way to
yeah,
promote the
but-
old, like the 70s 3D cinema technology, you know, with the red and blue glasses. It's a good way of promoting that, innit?
It is a good way. I mean, just think about it more. That's what he was saying. He was just saying to think about it.
Just
Think about it. Just think about it, mate.
Makes you
Right?
think.
I saw this other one, and it was just a video with some spooky music behind it, right? And then it just said April the 8th, the date of the eclipse. And then there was just the caption, okay? Right? And it just said, "Are you ready? The worst
For
thing
love.
No, not are you ready for love?
Oh,
no,
right.
no.
Sorry.
None of that. It just said, "Are you ready? The worst thing you could do is not be prepared. Prepared for what, you ask? God only knows. Be mindful."
Yeah, I mean, I live
it's all
by them
happening.
I live by them words every day.
Who is that for?
That's for
Who is
people
that
to
helping?
That's for people to interpret their own way. They'll probably
No,
readjust
the
bloody
worst thing you can
letters
do
to
is
make
not be
some-
prepared. Prepared for what? Don't know. Just anything.
Yeah.
Are you prepared, Sam, right now for anything?
I'm prepared for a really loud noise because I've got headphones on.
But
so
no, you have to be prepared for anything because they don't know what
No,
it is.
I'm
You have to
not-
be
I'm not
prepared for
prepared.
anything.
I'm
we
not
have to-
prepared for.
Are you prepared for a
flying
train
badgers.
to come through the room?
No.
Are you
I'm not
prepared for cabbages to fall from the sky?
I'm prepared for that. I'm always prepared for that.
Are you prepared for the sludge monster to come through the
Lettuces from the sky, though.
roof?
Right out.
Carrots?
Right out. Oh God, that they'd impale you. Not prepared for that.
That's a good
Vicious
point. It'll start
carrots.
spinning as they come down as well. It'll be like
Twisting,
a drill into
spinny
your
carrots.
skull.
Yeah,
Once a
that'd be
carrot
crazy.
hits terminal velocity, you're in trouble, mate.
What about
That's what I-
potatoes?
So
Potatoes
no,
would be
they're
pretty
too
vicious.
hard.
Yeah.
I think cauliflower.
What if it was mashed
is pretty
potato?
much one of the ideals. Isn't it?
Mashed potato from
Mashed
the
potato
sky.
wouldn't be that hard. It'd be heavy.
But we'd then get infested by badgers, right?
Exactly.
yeah, that's a good
Be
point.
bad, that.
And this is-
That'd be
but,
bad.
But would you be prepared for it?
Are you prepared for it? That's the
Are you
question, because you
prepared?
need to be
It's
prepared.
not if it's bad or not. It's
You need
are
to
you
just be prepared, because the worst thing you can do, Sam, is not be prepared. The worst thing.
Well,
Can
do
you think
do
of
also,
anything worse than not being prepared, Sam?
Do you also need to be prepared for not being prepared?
But you need to be prepared for anything. So are you
that's
prepared
it.
for anything?
He's making a valid point here. What if you are prepared to be prepared for everything? Does that include
That
the
means
fact
you're
that
not
you are
yet-
prepared for
That
everything?
means you're not
Oh,
yet
you're not
prepared for
prepared.
it.
Exactly.
though.
You're not doing it. You're preparing for it.
You're not prepared, though, are you?
You're not
I just
actively-
don't
Preparing
think
for
it works.
preparation.
You're not
I think
actively doing
you're
it.
fucked, mate. I think you're not prepared. I don't
You know
think-
this
I
whole
don't
thing
think
that
it's gonna
this
go
whole
well.
quote. It's just a redesign of the failure to prepare to fail. That's all that quote
I
is
think
saying.
that whole quote is utter bullshit.
Trash.
Really, it makes
Trash.
absolutely no sense. So I've kind of gone down a little bit of a hole with this and found loads of
rabbit
different
hole.
angles
Were you
that people
prepared
are going.
before you went down the hole?
Wait,
I
Did
was
you have
not,
your-
but
Did you
I
Did you
will
have your
say that
caving
now,
equipment?
Since
Did
I
you have
read
a-
that last
Did you have
one,
a hat with a light on the front?
since I
Were
read
you
that
wearing? Were you wearing a high vis jacket?
since I read, I have a canary at all times now. But
You
yeah,
don't
since
wear
I
a
read that
high-vis
last
jacket to
one,
go down at... Sorry.
no, but if you might not be going down a hole, but what if all of a sudden you need a high vis jacket because you got to be prepared for anything? You need high vis jackets, you need
Yeah.
warm clothes, cold clothes, you need a
Cold
plane,
clothes.
a boat, a car, all
I'll
of
tell you
Victorian
what.
era steam pulley system.
I'll tell you what. Benson is prepared for 99.9% of all occurrences with his tape measure.
That's true.
Compass. He can
Compy.
measure things. Yeah, he's got all kinds of things.
It's got a screwdriver on it.
Are
Swiss
you
Army
prepared
Compy.
for the resurgence of 14th century fashion? No, you're not. Do you have a Jacobean ruff? No, you don't.
Then get with the program, folks.
Get on it. Anyway, so I kind of went, saw all the different, had a good range of angles that people are going from. So this next one,
What, a 90 degree angle?
apparently, yeah, 90 degrees as well, 45, bit of 15 here and there.
Oh, how obtuse.
That's it. So apparently, this lady was saying that the government are spraying the skies to cover the eclipse up.
Ah,
Did you know
chemtrail
that?
cover-ups.
No, not chemtrails. She said that she was filming the sky before the eclipse and clouds were forming. So she was saying that the clouds were from the government.
Well, if you're gonna
and
swap
they
your
were
sun
trying
out,
to cover it up because they.
It
Well,
would
that's
make-
it. If
It
they're
makes sense to
swapping
cover
the
it up with
sun,
clouds and the moon. I mean, you've got a double whammy there. You know, you've got the
that's
ultimate
it. You gotta
blockade.
get it going.
That's how you do your quick change, isn't it? You got to cover it up somehow.
That's how fucking David Copperfield did the elephant thing, right? You got to cover it. So this next one, now this one was, this was a good one. This. So the solar eclipse, the path of
solar
totality. You know
eclipse
the
of the
path it takes, the path that's going to be fully covered. If you cross that with the last eclipse's path. It goes over America and it makes a cross. Now, a lot of people are focusing on this cross it makes, yeah.
Ah,
Crosses-
because X marks the...
X marks
X
it.
marks a
It does,
fucking
yeah.
spot, bro. So it crosses over this town in Illinois called Makanda.
Oh,
Right.
Makanda. That sounds
That's right,
awfully close
Makanda.
to Wakanda.
Ooh, maybe it is. But this woman she had a look at it on a map, right? And next to it is a place called Giant City State Park. That's what it's called. It's called Giant City State Park.
Can we just acknowledge that that's a terrible name for a park?
It's really bad.
It's the
but
proper
called
American thing
Giant
that
City State
over-describing
Park.
the thing that.
Yeah.
Well, the
How giant is
literal-
the city? Yeah,
Well,
how
this is
giant?
this is it. It's a very.
Oh, is it? We named it ironically. It's actually a really small city.
It's not
Just
Giant
wait,
City.
just
It's
wait.
Giant City Park.
We know Americans take things literally a lot of the time. We know that they like things explaining to them. So this woman's reach in this video was that we were clearly going to awaken a city of giants.
Ah, of course. That
Because
makes
it's
the most
called
sense.
Giant City State Park. And then she reached into the cloud thing and was saying that the government were using clouds to cover it up so you couldn't see what was happening in the shadows of the eclipse, which is apparently giants. Did you know
Wouldn't
that?
the giants
eh?
be above
Did
the
you know
clouds?
that?
I know
So-
it now. I wasn't prepared for it, though. I'll be honest. I did not prepare
Are
for
you
that.
prepared for giants, Sam? Sam, are you
So,
prepared for giants?
Where were the giants? Were in between the clouds and the sun. Is that
No,
right?
no.
All right.
The Giant City State Park is a city of giants,
Right.
and when the eclipse goes over it,
Everything went dark,
It goes dark, and the giants are coming
Right.
back. Apparently,
but just like pop their head out from behind a tree or something. and
well,
then fucked off
apparently
again.
no, they're just coming back straight up. I know.
Well,
it's after
where are
the
they now,
eclipse-
then?
I know it's after the eclipse now. Maybe they just have a long wake up period. They might be just a bit grouchy yet and not got out of bed.
That's a good point. It's
Maybe
been a
In
in
few
bed
years
for a
since the
long
last
time.
eclipse.
Yeah,
Maybe they're just
having a
assimilating.
wa-
They're just joining in with everyday things, just walking around, doing the shopping, going about the business, and everybody's just
how
like,
would we
yeah,
not
the giants
notice,
came
man?
back, but they're fairly chill. They've
The big friendly giants.
they've settled in well, quite enjoying the company.
About
To be
the
honest,
same
they help,
size as us
they help
as
me get
well.
things off the top shelf. They get cats out of trees. They're pretty chill guys, to be honest.
Well,
So-
I mean, this is it. So that's happening. Giants coming back.
I wasn't
and
prepared,
then
but I
it
feel
just-
prepared
it-
now, thanks to you.
It keeps. There is so much more. Like there's so many more little random things about a black sun. Did you know that there's a black sun? Did you know this? Have you heard about this?
I know there's a black hole sun, as per
Yeah, there's a song
Soundgarden.
called Black Hole
Yeah.
Sun, but no, apparently it's not the moon that causes the eclipse. It's a black sun that goes in front of it. And these guys say that you can tell because when the eclipse happens, you can't see the moon going in front of the sun.
Yeah,
You
that
know.
makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
To be fair, have you
So-
ever seen the moon and the black sun in the same room?
No, well, that's true,
I
but you're right. You're right. I mean, that was their basis for this theory. They've never seen the moon. Because this guy was saying last time when he watched the eclipse, he didn't see the moon. So obviously, it's a black sun that does it. Another video that I was watching said that traditional models of astronomy have no idea how to explain an eclipse. Did you know that? Because I thought
Science had that covered.
Yeah, I thought they had that covered. You know,
Science has got that all science stuff.
It's just messing with my head, this man. Like, because
You're getting all science stuff in here.
diagrams, and I see all these diagrams, and then this dude on the internet, this voiceover on this video is like, no, they don't know how to explain that. And who do you trust? The people
really
with all the experience, or the random voice on the phone?
It is crazy
think
that
it's
we
probably
still
better to-
trust. We still trust like Da Vinci and Archimedes way more than modern day people. Like that's insane. With all the technology
I
and all
mean,
the
we really
knowledge we have
do.
available to us now, we still trust them over people on TikTok. Like,
I know.
sort
Why
your
do we
lives
do
out.
that? Why do we not trust a person on TikTok who's thought about this for 10 minutes and put
Who was
a video out?
prepared to think about it? You know, if they're
I mean,
prepared to think
surely
about
10
it, then-
minutes is enough. You need to think about these things. You don't need to study them. You don't need degrees already. None of that rubbish. You don't need that shit. Anyway, so in the end, I ended up somehow, all these roads lead to true north, which is I ended up on the flat earth theory. Just ended up down a flat earth.
flat moon theory
And
as well.
that's where I kind of shut off my research because that's where I draw the line, you know.
Is that the
I
point
draw
to
the
stop?
line,
So you do
so-
all your deep diving, and then as soon as you come across flat Earth, you're like, right, we need to
That's
stop
it.
now.
That's where you stop. You draw the
That's the cut-off
line,
point.
which is you drawing a side view of the flat Earth. Right there. But you know what I've learned? What I've learned from all of this, clouds, suspicious, means the government's trying to hide something.
Told you.
The sun, it's not real. Not real at all. It's not our sun. Our sun's been replaced.
It's not got a hat.
The government want you to go out and they want you to look at the eclipse, but also they want to hide it by spraying clouds. Now, I don't know where you can buy this cloud spray from, but I could do with it during British summertime, you know.
You can buy spray that gets rid of clouds. That's a true
No,
thing.
I want cloud spray. I want spray that makes the clouds.
they do
The government
that in
clearly
Dubai.
use. Do they?
Cloud seeding.
They do.
Cloud
Yeah, cloud
seeding.
seeding.
Oh yeah, they do actually. That's good.
They do. Well, it's interesting that you bring this up. Are you familiar with Matt Letizia?
I'm not, but please go
Oh,
on.
So
yeah, I am,
he's
unfortunately.
he's a former footballer.
He's a cunt.
and-
Oh right, okay. That's
was-
why I'm not familiar with
Yeah,
it.
but he was fucking brilliant. Scored some of the best goals you'll ever see. Played for England. Played for Southampton his whole career. And then he sort of broadcasted on Sky Sports. Lost his job, and he's done exactly what you've done, Adam. And he's gone down these rabbit holes. But he's not stopped at flat Earth theory. And he's just carried on. He's just carried on going. He didn't stop at the cut-off point. Unfortunately,
He's in square Earth
Well,
theory
it's
now.
not like I just think it's hilarious, man. Like some of the things that these people are saying, it's not just a reach. It's fucking just like some of it. When I can't understand the connections they've made, that's when it's brilliant. Because it's just like the grasping at straws and just adding stuff in wherever. When she started going on about giants, I was fucking howling.
Well, he's done the key thing that you mentioned before, where they just kind of put out some words that are kind of vague and kind of get you to think, "Oh, yeah, what if?" Where they're not actually making any real assertions.
Yeah,
so he's put out the other day, and obviously he's a public figure. He's got quite a few followers, quite a few people listen to him, respect his opinion, and he put out the other day saying, the weather's been really bad this year. Isn't it convenient and lucky that the weather was really nice during the COVID lockdown? That was really fortunate for the government, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Wall-to-wall sunshine.
I hate that. Just make
Did he
your
add
own
the
theories.
hums? Did he add the hums to it?
Yeah, the hums are in
That's
there.
basically
So
what they do, though, isn't it? It's like,
So-
ooh, I'm just asking, and then they'll go, I'm just asking questions. I'm just
basically,
asking
yeah.
questions.
So people, quite a lot of people said, "Oh, yeah, that is coincidence, isn't it?" I don't know what he's getting at really, but people were saying that he is asserting that the government made it sunny during lockdown. That's basically what he's
to
saying.
what avail?
Not the seasons.
Well,
not
this
the
is the thing
global
because,
warming. The government.
because a lot of people suggested, wouldn't it have been better for the government in terms of keeping people in their houses if it was
Make
pissing
it
it down with
fucking
rain
rain.
all the time?
Exactly, yeah.
But I think what he's suggesting is maybe everybody was a bit more affable and willing to go along with the lockdowns and a bit more happy because of the wall-to-wall sunshine. A lot of people were off the jobs on furlough. Maybe they could chill out in the garden. They were all generally in better moods because of the vitamin D. But obviously loads of people have called him out on it and said, what are you saying here? This is too far. It's a bit of bullshit.
What is it you're on about?
And
Say what you want
then
to
he
say.
came out the next day to say, I wasn't implying that the government made it sunny at all. But when somebody replied to his original tweet saying what nonsense are you on about here? Just say what you're trying to say. And he said, have you ever heard of geoengineering? So we've just talked about it a second ago, haven't we? Cloud seeding. And
cloud seeding, yeah.
I don't think he can make it more sunny, though. I think
Well, you can if you swap the sun out with a bigger, hotter sun.
You've got to get a bigger, hotter sun.
With
That's
a
it.
hat on.
And then you stop all the people using the cloud spray.
But how did the
And then
government do that without the benefit of the eclipse? How did they swap in the super hot sun during lockdown?
everyone was
as well?
clapping for the NHS.
They didn't have.
So whilst you're
so
clapping
where else
for the
everyone-
NHS.
Well, that's why they sent everyone inside because of COVID, so they could swap out the sun.
Yeah, they swapped it out. Do you not remember everyone were banging pots and stuff, so the noise was a distraction, and then
Of all
it
the
went
fucking
it went very dark.
as they release
Nobody stopped to think, should we just do it at night time? It's a lot easier to change the sun.
Don't say that. No, you're destroying people's lives.
So,
But then the Australians get wind of it. Then if you do it at night.
No, because we're
I
on the
did
flat
see.
Earth.
I
Everyone's
did
got the
see
sun at the
one
same time.
thing. Oh,
course,
mate,
so-
wait. Well, when I hit that flat Earth barrier, the first thing I saw was someone saying that they think on the other side of the flat Earth, on the flat disc, there's
Giants.
another civilization.
There's giants.
Like people. So there's like, and they're on the other side. And
Australians?
they're living like, well, no, because they're on this side apparently. Maybe they're
Oh,
like
right.
Australia. It's like just a whole Australian version of the world.
So when people call Australia down under, flat earthers
Not
are like,
really.
no, you don't even
No,
know.
yeah, you don't even fucking
My friend,
know, mate.
my friend, you were not prepared.
No idea.
Yeah.
You are sheeple. You've not opened your eyes to the truth.
The
I
real
love it as
down
well,
under
that one
giants.
of the biggest theories they've got is that the ice cap is a ring around the. It's like the wall in
They
Game
call
of
it the
Thrones.
wall or something. Yeah, it's some,
And you can't get over it, even though people have been
Great
to the
ice
magnetic
wall.
north and south pole.
Is that what the sun wears when it's colder?
What's
The
that?
ice cap.
No.
ice
was
yeah,
shit
honestly, it was a good. The eclipse brought some people out, but there was a lot of Jesus ones. There was a lot of God ones, and it's just.
Well,
a
without
tiring
God, you
one,
wouldn't have an
guys.
eclipse. So I couldn't
Of
see where.
course, yeah, that's it. That's it. But we'll see. I mean, it's after the eclipse now, and there's no giants yet. Maybe they are still waking up. But when this goes out, it'll be a few weeks down the line, right? So we'll see. We'll see what happened. Maybe we'll be living in a different world by then.
Or maybe this podcast will never make it to air because we've all been destroyed by
By
giants.
giants, yeah. Or maybe it'll be aliens because
Well, that
there's always
sucks.
aliens.
Spending time recording this and it not even being listened to. That.
Well, if the
terrible.
giants appear, we just gotta make sure we release this.
Yeah. Giant, you can grind up my bones and make them into bread if you must,
Let me
but
just
can
do
we
this
just release this podcast? 'Cause we spent like an hour recording.
And it's about you guys, so you really want
Oh,
it for the
wow,
exposure.
amazing. Can we listen too? Of course you can. I've told you the Giants are chill, they're good guys. They're all
Good
right.
guys, but they're gonna
However,
grind
they
your
do
bones.
turn your bones into bread.
Right, the good
Other than-
guys have
other
just
than
smashed
that, though,
one of my legs.
Bones aren't even a good substitute for flour. They've got it all wrong. Like,
Bones are a fantastic substitute for flour.
I love bony Yorkshire puddings.
not without the yeast, they're not. It's pointless.
But I tell you what, the sun that they've swapped it out for, it's still shit.
It is still shit. They need to. The bulb
And all these
must be
clouds that they've planted over here now.
defect or something. These cloud sprayers, motherfuckers, they must work overtime in the UK. I don't
It's
like
like-
them.
It's like this unit I've got in the back here. They sent me one of those and it was broken. And then they sent me, so I complained, and then they sent me another one and that was broken too,
Who's
but
they?
slightly less
Who's they? The
broken.
government?
Who are they and what's the unit?
Yeah, yeah, the fucking sun stealers.
I wasn't prepared for that.
We prepared for 2 broken units, Sam.
No, I
Well,
wasn't.
you
but that's-
failed, haven't you? You
that's-
failed.
That's what this new sun's like. I thought if they were going to change it out for a new one, maybe they change the maybe they just changed the batteries.
Maybe that's
it's
it.
still
But maybe
shit.
they got a
No,
shit
the sun's
battery.
solar
Maybe they
powered.
just got a dud battery.
Hang on, that can't possibly work.
It
It can't
no,
power
because here's
itself,
here's a
Benson.
conspiracy.
It can't power itself.
The solar panels on Earth are actually mirrors. So the light comes off the sun, hits the solar panels that reflect the energy back up to the sun, and then
Just the energy, not the light,
Yeah, but then it gets converted into
to
energy,
the sun.
into light. Yeah, of course it does. Read a book, man. Read a freaking book.
I'm just asking questions.
Read a freaking. Were you prepared for me to say read a freaking book? No.
No, never. And I've failed. We've all failed miserably. I think we should all go think about what we've done.
Should we end this episode on a story, or start this episode, should I say, on a story? We haven't done a story for a while.
Yes.
Now, I have actually found a story. I've combed the darkest corners of the internet and found a pretty plain story, but that's because it's SmurfCon
Plain
1.
story. Great.
So I couldn't
You
go
brought a
crazy at
plain
the start.
story. At least we're not going too funny.
Not a
The
plain
Dow
story
Jones
like an
has risen
aeroplane.
2 points against.
And it's actually a local story because it's from the Yorkshire Post. So this is a local story, unless it's actually a fake news story, which we wouldn't know until tomorrow. Anywho, it's about a mistake that somebody's made. So I was wondering if either of you, not any of you, that doesn't make. Yeah, let's involve the listener as well. Has anybody here listening ever made an expensive mistake at work or in life? And how expensive was it? Have either of you ever done anything that's cost a lot of money in mistake prices?
Not really. Not like I've never like lost a huge amount and been like, oh. Apart from when we were in Vegas, that was hilarious.
Vegas was just a series of mistakes. But
A
it
pretty
wasn't-
good series of mistakes, but we're not talking about that.
No, it's expensive to do everything there.
It's expensive.
What about you, Sam?
I drove over that pothole on New Year's Day. That was
You did.
expensive.
You did.
It's very expensive and annoying.
But I think what you're both saying is that you've never been forced to spend £30,000 to reduce the height of your new build house by the width of a peanut. Would I be accurate in saying that both of you have never done that before?
You would be accurate. Sure, can't you just sand it down a bit?
He wasn't
Reduce
prepared
the
to sand it
height
down.
by
The height of
reduce
the
the height by
house
the width
of a
of a
peanut.
peanut.
That's
Yes.
surely just chisel a bit off the top, right?
What
Well-
a strange way of calculating how much they're taking off the width of a peanut.
No, play the alarm. You're making me laugh.
Is it a large peanut or a small peanut?
I don't
Why?
know.
Why a peanut?
They have
Why
That's
have,
how-
why have they widthed it
Because
by a
he's
peanut?
quoted this. So the developer has claimed that he is being forced to spend up to £30,000 to reduce the height of his house by the width of a peanut. The Eco Custom Homes. Hang on, that's not a person.
Can he not reduce the width by the height of a peanut instead?
What
Or
about
is that not
the
allowed?
depth of a peanut?
Could he reduce the force
It's
of
not
the
entertaining
peanut of the
this.
developer? So Eco Custom Homes have been ordered to lower the height of the new build house in Beverly, which is
Right.
taller than the approved plans.
By the
By a
Developer
peanut.
claims
By a
that
peanut. Just say
well,
a peanut.
the developer claims that the required reduction is just
the width
the width of
and
a
height of a
peanut.
peanut is not greatly different.
Just
is
a
it?
peanut.
It's
isn't it?
13 millimeters apparently.
Yeah,
13
so yeah,
millimeters.
you could just chisel that off the top, right? Surely the top of
I'm
the house
liking
of a
this.
peanut.
You're really focusing on this chiseled sandpaper idea, right?
I don't
like
understand
it.
why.
I think
Why
he wasn't prepared to.
He wasn't. I'm sorry. Well, that's his big first mistake on it. That was his first
Mistake
mistake.
one. You weren't prepared to sand down your house.
Clearly did it wrong. Wasn't prepared to reduce his house by the width of a peanut.
And
So-
how'd you reduce the height of it? What
You spend
what are they doing? How are they doing it?
£30,000.
Oh,
That's
and
what I'm
then what do they
saying.
do? What
You
does
don't
that
need
buy
30
you?
grand.
What does that buy you? Do they
One
dig? Do they
peanut
dig?
less of house.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Once you're forced to spend the £30,000, you spend it, and then the house reduces by the width of the
Just
peanut.
shrink.
I don't know why
They
they've
then
used
just spend
width
it
for height.
bribing the
That-
planning guy to go, just write it right. Just write it
Well,
different.
the
on
planning guys
sheet.
are actually the planning officers for the East Riding Council, and they ruled that the house had a top-heavy and awkward appearance in what is known as a historic conservation area. Historic conversation area sounds fun.
If they've only had to reduce it by the width of a height of a peanut, the height of
The width of a height.
the height of
Reduce
the
the
width,
height by the width.
the width of the.
Were you not prepared to confuse height and width today?
But if they're just looking at it,
Oh
you
my
can't just say,
God.
"Oh, that's a peanut width too high." Is that house? I can tell that from over here.
If that were a peanut width smaller, it wouldn't be top heavy anymore.
I need a tape measure to figure this out, but I've only got a
Right.
guy here with a compass. No, my compass has a tape measure on
I've
it,
got some peanuts in my pocket.
and just stacking the peanuts up against the house. Your house
One
should
off.
be 864 peanuts high, and it's actually 890 peanuts high.
Wait a minute.
Oh, no, that's far
The
too
guy-
many peanuts. Sorry, I'm getting confused by the peanut scale.
The director of the
Too many.
business that have built the house is called Wayne Lowe. Wayne Lowe,
You're
like it needs, the
laughing.
house because the house needs to be low.
That's a stretch, that is.
All right.
Are you trying to imply some kind of nominative determinism because the
it's
guy
definitely
likes
nomin-
to?
It needs to be
It's
low.
what?
It all needs to be low.
It needs to be way
Low-
lower than
low-
this.
Yeah,
Way
way
lower.
lower. This guy just likes things lower. Is that what you're saying? So that's why this is happening, because he's just going around saying that needs to be shorter. Do you mean lower? Exactly. That pint is filled up too much. Needs to be lower.
This sounds super fucking petty.
Tell you what, that bath.
It's the council. It's the council
Well, I
doing it
know,
all.
the little
So.
bitches, but
You
Yeah.
need to let some of that bath out. The water level needs to be lower.
Are you still going?
how did they measure it to get his big tape measure?
In
out?
peanuts.
I got peanuts. Were you not listening? Everything in Beverly is measured in peanuts.
What
I went
kind
for
of
a walk the other
peanuts?
day. I went 2,833
Are these KP?
peanuts.
Are we talking like something else here?
Average
We need to
peanut,
know.
my friend.
Average peanut size. They just get a load of average peanuts, all average.
And work out the average. 13 millimeters would be the average size of a peanut, according to Wayne Lowe.
And how many peanuts tall should your house be?
157 millimeters. Oh, how many peanuts?
If
Fucking
your
hell,
house is
Benson.
157
Use your own scale, for God's sake.
Sorry.
157 millimeters of
what's
house is
100
not much.
What's 157 divided by 13?
I'm not fucking doing that kind of math.
It's about five peanuts. So
A house should be 5 peanuts high.
He's got
I think your maths might be a little bit off.
Do you know what a peanut
my
is?
house,
Benson,
my
do you
house
know
could
what
be
a
5
peanut
peanuts
is?
high.
Or are you talking about?
a peanut.
You talking about peanuts characters or?
A peanut is like a yard of building material.
This is hilarious.
I don't know where else to go with it. That's it.
Too many peanuts, mate. That's what
But
you
imagine if you built. How do you explain that to like the bank that you go to get a loan off them? What do you need the loan for? Well, have you ever heard of the old one peanut too high situation? You could say I've got myself
When
into
we
one
were
of them.
building it, we put a layer of peanuts down first, and we shouldn't have done it.
Can we just check, sir, that the peanut in question, is that the height of the peanut? No, it's the width of the...
width.
Oh, right, okay.
that's
You can have your 30 grand then.
So you've gone above the height restrictions by the width of the peanut. Classic mix of
Yeah.
measurements there.
Absolutely.
If you'd have gone by the length of the peanut, we'd have been throwing you out on your ass, I'm afraid. But as it's the width, then you can have your money. Here's your money.
We'll give you the interest rate at peanuts.
Well, pay peanuts, get 2 tall houses. And then Mr. Lowe comes in and says, lower that.
Hey, get it low. Get low.
Wait, low. Can't believe I've fully named someone. I know we name people all the time. Remember
Can't
Mr.
believe
Cross?
you've fully named someone rather than partially named.
Could give his address out on here as well and everything.
Go on then,
Right.
put it down. You ain't
No,
got his address. You don't know our low. You don't know the low man.
I'm not going to read his address out because if I
Can't
said
get
something
down
like
with
that,
that low man.
if I said something as ridiculous as his full address, which is number,
You can't just dox Mr. Low.
what does doxing mean?
Giving out his personal
That's what
details.
you're doing right now.
Just literally what you're doing right now.
I'll bleep it all out.
And it's illegal.
Is it illegal?
Yeah.
Well, it's in the fucking newspaper.
Well, they've been doxing, haven't they?
If it's in the newspaper, he doesn't live there. This is the house he built, not where he lives.
It's a house that
It's the
Wayne
peanut.
built.
It's the house that's a width of a peanut too high.
It's a house that Peanuts didn't build because
That sounds like a kid's book. When you say it like that.
Roll down.
Yeah.
Wayne and the giant peanut.
And your house was a peanut's width too high. Or some Dr. Seuss or some shit.
So it gives the address, his full name, and the business is the director of, but it's illegal for me to say.
Well, you've given the address of the house that's the peanut's width too high. Is that right? So
Yes.
everybody can go and check out this house that's the peanut's width too high.
yeah,
I'd be
so
like,
everyone can
wow,
You can measure
that
it with
house
your
is
own peanut.
yeah. Bring your own peanuts. BYOP.
There is a peanut seller outside though, if you want to buy them, but they're extortionate price.
Yes.
And they're not regulation size.
No, they're not regulation. If you try and
tourist
measure it
peanuts.
up by the width of that
Replica
peanut,
peanuts.
you will be put in jail.
Replica peanuts, tourist peanuts. That's what I call them.
Nobby's nuts.
Got some kind of spicy coating on them. And just
B-
throws the
BYOP.
measurements right
Fake
out.
as fuck, not a real peanut.
BYOP has proper done me in. Wait, play the alarm. Play the alarm.
Oh my god! Everybody! Sorry. There we
It's
go.
too much. We're gonna have to bring this to an end. It's too funny. It's got too funny.
Yeah, sorry about that to our loyal listener.
We've got to bring it to the start.
Hello and welcome to Killer Rabbit Podcast. It's Yorkshire's #1 alternative news podcast with me, Sam. Thought you might introduce yourselves for a change.
We don't introduce ourselves at the start of the show.
We never
above
do
that.
that, and you just decide to drop that on us. No warning, like we're something
During the
else.
fake
not
outro
prepared.
intro.
When
We were not
and we're meant to
prepared.
just
You were not
know.
prepared?
We were not prepared. Look how much we failed. I'm a failure. I'm done. Goodbye.
I'm just hoping that this lack of preparedness has not caused anybody who is recovering from any kind of surgery any ill fate.
They must be prepared.
We should really put that at the end of the episode to warn them that the episode may contain mirth.
Yeah. Mirth over the recommended level. A peanut's width of mirth.
We monitored mirth closely during this episode and must say that we have exceeded recommended levels. The mirth is over the top. We're sorry,
Killer
people.
Rabbit cannot be held responsible for any excessive use of mirth.
You should have been prepared.
Mirth was captured
I like the
for this
disclaimers
episode.
at the end of the podcast. It's very
No,
much
this is the
in
start
fitting
of
with
this is the
episode.
start of the podcast. The
Right,
disclaimers
so
are
it's
now
start
at the
now.
start.
We're
Oh
on
no,
the
it's the
start.
fake. It's the fake
beginning.
ending.
It's
starting.
not.
it's the
It's not
start.
fake ending
This is
start.
the
This is the
start
start
of
of
the
the
podcast.
episode. We started with the end. Now we're ending with
Benson's
the
going to
start.
just put it all in reverse.
Yeah.
Well, it's been Killer Rabbit Podcast. It's been very silly as always. Thanks very much for joining us. If you want to get in touch with KRP, then please do so. Find us online on all the social medias at Killer Rabbit Pod, or email us at killerrabbitpodcast@gmail.com. Come and say hello. Send us some stories. Tell us what your favourite cloud is. Tell us how prepared you are for every possible eventuality. And yeah, come and say hello. We'd enjoy that very, very much. But until next time, I think it's time to get out of here. What do you reckon?
Get out.
Where are we going?
Do I have
Are
to?
you prepared? Are you prepared for the ending?
I'm prepared for the
Oh
ending.
wow,
I
that
am
sounds
right
like
now
a conspiracy
prepared.
thing. There's a giant outside
The
your
ending's
window.
a conspiracy.
Yeah, the Great Awakening happens right at the end of this episode. And if it doesn't, then we might move the
And
goalposts
then-
a little
yeah,
bit.
then it'll be
Suggest
next.
it's the end
It'll
of
be
next
the next
episode.
Great Awakening time. Yeah.
That's how it
Don't
goes.
worry.
That's
Yes.
how it goes.
Call
Quite.
us Zed.
And that's it. That's the end of the podcast. Thanks for joining us. I've been Sam.
Rabbit Benson.